Where is... I don't see... All right. So let's go look at the dashboard, see if the stream title matches. Okay, cool. So basically today, what I want to do is I want to continue the thing that I've done yesterday with finishing up the API gateway. And where I'm at is I started to add this service gateway, basically the mapping of the other services. So let's go ahead and see what we do here. If we go here, we see we have a services index. Let me just exit this so we can remove this and open up Vim again. So if you go to services index, what we get is this, and we don't have the Chattanooga service yet, so we can go ahead and create that. So src app services, and we're going to create Chattanooga, and it's going to be JS. And here, let's also split this. Let's split this here. So split. And then here, let's create a file called src app services, and let's call service request, which is going to be the mapping. And then this is going to be export default create user. And we're going to have, so this is going to be function create user, and it's going to accept a request. It is going to accept a body or request. Yeah, let's have a body here, and then here, and then export default this, and we'll export create user here. And then this will return a service request with the request. Let's see. So let's do that. And then here, this is going to be URL with the request dot body. Well, let's have function of base URL. And then this is going to return request.body .app.config.services.chattanooga.base URL. And then here, this is going to be base URL. And we need the request here. And then here, this is going to be API agent user. And then the body, or actually the method, is going to be post. And let's see, somehow here we need to pass the body, but we'll see that in a second. But let's first write this service request thing. Okay. So here, what do we need, right? So one is we need to pass the request ID to the service, to the downstream service. We need to send the body of the request. Yeah, I think this is about it. So let's figure this out. So first of all, this is going to be export default service request, which is going to accept a request, and it's going to accept this. Okay, so it's going to accept a URL, and it's going to accept a body. It's going to accept headers, and I think that's about it. Let's see. So let's see. So URL params and so URL params method and data. And this is going to be here and here and here. And this should return an Axios client. So this will return, so import Axios from Axios. And this will return Axios with this, right? So with the URL, with params, with the, do I need the method here? Method and the data. And do I need headers? Let me think. I wanna think if I need the headers here. Let's do the headers here. And then here, let's do const headers equals to build headers for request. And we're gonna pass in the request. And then here we're gonna have a function called build headers for request, which is gonna be the request here. And this is going to return an array, well, a hash of headers. So we're going to have a content type of application JSON. We're going to have an X request ID, which is going to be the request.id. And for now, this should be that. And then we'll have the headers, we'll have this one, and we'll have the data. So this will be data. And then here we'll have this. And then here, response. And we'll return the response dot data. Okay. And I think this should be it, at least for now. Let me think here. Yeah, I think for now this should be it. So here in our routes, so inside of our src index.js, we are going to import services from app services. And let's see, so services and then index.js. So here, okay, so first of all, this has a bug, and I think this should fix it. It does. So how am I going to import the services here? Okay, so I think this is it. So we are going to export default config app this, and then here we'll have app.use, and then we'll have a request, a response, and a next, and then app.services equals to this, and we'll have Chattanooga here, like so. And here we need a fat arrow. So yeah, services are microservices. This is basically an API gateway for microservices. It's one Node.js application that will basically compose other microservices into their own, domain language. So then here we'll have the routes, and before we have anything, else, so let me think. So the system here, where do I fit this in? I think I'll fit this in here. So then here we'll have a services and config. And well, no. Yes. As long as it's before the routes, then we're fine. So then let's go to routes index, and we'll go to authorization here. And let's do this and this and this, close this and this. And then here, let's close this off and focus on the editor. Oh, not this one, not this one, this one. And then here, let's go to loader.js. And here we have the validated user. Okay, so what I want is I essentially want to call the user here. Okay, so then here, what I want is to return so here, let's return request.app.services.chattanooga. And let's go to services, index, and services should be this. And this shouldn't be an array, it should be an object. So this is here and here and here. So save this. And focus here again, and then dot what did I call this? So let's open up Chattanooga, And this is, yeah, create user. So create user. And create user is going to accept a request. And it's going to accept a body. And then let's do, this should be response, right? So response. Okay. So the body is going to be this. So let's look at the pet store. So it's going to be like user ID. So user ID. It's where was this? I had this here. I had it. I printed it here. Let's see, where was it? There it is. Okay. So then here, let's close this. And so user ID is request.jwt.sub. And then we have a username, which is request.jwt email, I guess. And then email is also this one. And display name, well, I don't have it, but let's see that this display name as well. And avatar. I don't really have an avatar. It's called Chattanooga. It's because it handles chat events. And then console.log response. Now, if I don't expect this to work, but I just want to see what is going on. And then use config. What's going on? Oh, come on. How many times can I do the same thing? God. So here, return app. Cool. So now, if I go and I load up Postman and I have the token bearer here and I send the bearer, then what happened? Something broke, but what? Well, I'm not sure what. But it's not responding. So let's reload this. And what's going on? Okay. So here, let's do console.log request.jwt here and send. So it's not even getting here. Oh, I didn't even know that actually, Jumpy Stick. I just and it, as it turns out, this is a pretty big microservice. I mean, it's not as big as if it was a monolithic, but it's still a pretty big microservice. So it's a pretty cool coincidence, I guess. So what is going on right now? Oh, so here, return next. And okay, so I think this should solve this. And what is going on? Well, probably the token just expired. So let's grab a new token. And let's grab a new token. The token probably just expired. So then let's log in and inspect our application. And we have an ID token here. And when we put this in the bear and send, then it hangs. And it hangs because service request is not defined, and that is expected. And then this is import service request from service request. And then we're going to continue to the next phase. So send, yes. So method data, blah, blah, blah. So this is in service request. This is what happens when you write a bunch of code. Ezra, hello. So this is return Axios. So headers, data, URL params, headers, data. So what is the issue here? Headers is build headers. Oh, here, this is probably that. Yeah, this should be function. All right, so let's see. Chattanooga of undefined. Okay. So Chattanooga of undefined means that request.app.services is undefined. And if we go here, we'll see that app.use and then app.services, and we have Chattanooga here. And let's do console.log app.services and console.log request.app.services. And okay, there it is. So I see this one. I see Chattanooga here and Chattanooga here. So why don't I have it here? So Chattanooga is here. And let's do and then let's update the service here and send, and we get an empty response. And I see Chattanooga here. So where is Chattanooga not defined? If I do request.app.services, which is the same here, and Chattanooga is here and is here. So where is it not? Okay. So async and this is here in the services Chattanooga. Okay. So I see. So okay. So I know what the issue is. So then let's do .env here and services here, and then source.env, and then run local. So now everything should be good. Send and failed with status code of 404. Awesome. So then now this is getting somewhere. So this is not actually API agent user, it's API v1 agent user. And here, what I can do is I can actually say that everything here is API v1, and that will be better. So then we go to agent user and request failed with status code of 404. Still can't be. No, now it's something different. Okay, so let's do that and send. Okay, so unhandled promise, rejection. Is the server running? The server is running. Oh, I see. Okay. So where is this? Where is this? So agent user is here. And let's go to agent user. And then send. And now what do we get? Request failed with status code of 500. Awesome. So now we're getting somewhere. Position argument avatar. So avatar is missing. And we're going to add avatar here. And avatar is just going to be blank for now. Then send. And what do we get? Look at this. We get the user ID. Look at this. This is awesome. And here, we are going to do console.log response. And then request.user is going to be response. And then return next. And then here, we're going to send. Look at this. We have a Plato, which is okay. And we're going to have an agent user in the database right now. So if we go to the database, we'll go to Chattanooga, and we'll go to the agent users. We'll have our user, which has everything here. And we can also prove this, delete this row, and save. All right, so we don't have a user now. And if I call the same URL, we'll get the same answer. And when I refresh, I have the user created at, updated at. I have the user ID. I have the display name. And this also creates the users here, which has the user ID, and it has a user type. And the agent user has a user ID, which points to that user. All right, so two questions. What is this Vim theme? So this is a combination of two themes. One is an iTerm2 theme, which is text and no, is it colors? Yeah. So it's Atom, and the color scheme for Vim is one dark. You can see that here. Which Postgres client am I using? I'm using a client called Postico, which is okay. I mean, I'm not in love with it, but it's okay. All right. So now here, what I also want so Hardbuzz, sorry, I missed your question the last time. I mean, I saw it and then I completely forgot about it. I'm sorry about that. So who's to say we don't? We definitely do. Globality does hire new grads and does hire new, interns and does hire people fresh out of boot camp. Not everyone, well, I don't know. I'm not going to continue that sentence. But yeah, we definitely hire new grads and interns and whatnot. So I don't know why we would assume we don't. Site doesn't have openings. Well, okay. I don't know about that, but what I'm saying is, you know, and I said that many times before. Come to a meetup, send an email, you know, make sure people in the company knows that you're interested, not in the way to send a CV. So yeah. By the way, let me give you I don't know if I should tell this story, but I'm going to tell this story. So 3 months ago, 2 or 3 months ago, close to 3 months ago, probably. I was doing mock interviews, and at the same time, Whiplash One was also doing mock interviews. And I was watching one of his interviews. It was like midnight or 11 p.m. or something like that. And one of the guys there really really impressed me, and he was completely green. He had no real world like work experience. He had zero kind of qualification of what we're normally looking for. But he really really impressed me. And I was like, yeah, you know what? Let's have him over for an interview. So I emailed him, or actually Discord DM'd him. I Discord DM'd him, and I told him, look, what do you think? Like, do you think you want to come over for an interview? And he was like, dude, I live in Southern California, and I'm not gonna come for an interview in Northern California. So I told him, look, we're gonna fly you here in the morning, and then you're gonna do your interviews, and then we're gonna fly you out in the afternoon. We are basically gonna tell us what you paid for the flight, and then we're gonna reimburse you for the flight. It took a couple of weeks to arrange, because I'm not, I don't have a company credit card or anything like that. So it took a couple of weeks to arrange, and emails back and forth with the CTO and the office manager and so on. But he came over for an interview. He passed all the interviews. And everybody was like super super impressed. But really, due to reasons that completely are unrelated to him, it didn't work out. Because we were restructuring teams, and it ended up that if he would have come on, then we wouldn't have a place for him. Like, we wouldn't have a real place for him. So we sadly passed on it, but he passed all the interviews. And he didn't submit his CV. You know what I'm saying? He didn't like send his CV through Lever or anything like that. He just put himself out there, and I grabbed it. So yeah. Okay. All right. So let's have this. I wanna check something here. So node, and then require snake case from Lodash. What is it? How do I require things like that? Damn it, I forgot. I can't believe I forgot this. How do I require? Just 1 second. I'm sorry. This is embarrassing, but I have to. Let's see. 1 second. Oh, this one. Okay. Oh my god. All right. I forgot. I'm like so used to this is require Lodash, and then snake case. Is this a function? It's a function. So this should return something underscore else. Okay. So here, I am going to send everything as this user ID, and then username, email, and display name. And then here, what I'm going to do, So the question is, since he lacked industry experience, what made the candidate impressive? Um, everything, the way he answered the questions, the way that he was confident, his knowledge, like algorithmic knowledge, and again, mind you, I watched another person's interviewing him. I did not interview him, um, and I was, I was impressed, and was enough for to pick my interest. And we gave him a technical interview at the company, like a phone interview before we flew him over, and committed money to the situation. And he's still impressed. And the team lead that interviewed him was like, yeah, I'm willing to take him on. I know he doesn't have all that experience, but I'm willing to take him on to my team, and teach him and educate him, and invest the time to make him better. Um, but again, it just didn't work out and was completely unrelated to his experience, and I was very, very sad for that. Um, but yeah, that's the case. Yeah, for sure, it's different from dev work, for sure. But still, it's like, when you hire a new grad, you don't hire them for their, um, how should I even say that? You know what I mean? Um, you don't hire them for what they know right now. You hire them because they're good potential to be good team members down the road. And when you have a company like Globality, which is not your normal regular Silicon Valley startup, everything is urgent and everything is like right now. Then you're willing to invest the time because you're looking down to you're looking for the long haul. You're not looking for um, to make a quick buck, or to just get whatever you can from your engineers, and then for a couple of years, and then they're off, right? So everything is different in a company like Globality. So we're willing to invest the time in good people, and he seems like good people. All right, so then let's do this and add this, and then this is services. Services are connected, um, and requests are being made. Okay. And we are going to push this. So yeah, definitely interview prep is different from dev work, but like I said, we were willing to invest the time and and work with him on his um, education. Future artistic, thank you for the follow, much appreciated. For some reason I heard that through the speakers and not through the headphones. Hey Blackbird 1911, how are you? All right, so here we have the services already working. Now here, I want to look, why didn't I get the avatar? It's important to me to get the avatar, and I didn't get it. So let's check this out. So let's do here. So users, and in users, um, let's see a picture, identity provider. So there's a user ID. So where is the picture actually? So there is where is the object? There it is. So I see an audience, I see an app metadata, I see an email, but I don't see a picture or anything of that nature. So how do I get the user picture? Now this is a very useful one. It's just this one, but it's still Scary Harry. Thank you for the follow, much appreciated. So how do I get the picture? I wonder if there's a scope to get the picture. So auth 0 scopes. So there it is, scopes, and we have app metadata as a scope. So scope is OpenID and OpenID profile. OpenID profile email will return claims listed above plus email. OpenID will return. All right, so OpenID will return these. Oh, there it is. So profile will return the name, the nickname, and the picture. Okay, so then here in our client application, we are going to change the scope to also send the profile. And then in our Node app, we are going to get that in the bearer token. So let's jump into the chat and re-engage our app. So let's clear the cache and restart. And we are going to log in. And then this will give us a token. Oh, I got an error? No, I probably didn't. So let's go to application and I get an ID token. So then if I put that here and I send it, well, obviously nothing will work. But if I go here and I say console.log request.jwt, I should also get the token. So I should also get the profile details. So then if I do that and I send it, what do I get? Yes, I get it. I get identities, and I get the name, and where's the picture? So I get the nickname and I get the picture. Awesome. Warning, unhandled promise. Return 500. Oh, user ID. Missing 2 required. Okay, so let's see. Oh, because I changed those. All right, so let's go to service request. And let's have a function called handle params or snake case params. And this will accept params, or it will accept an object. Well, obviously this is not the way to spell object. And then const params is going to be handle params with params. And data is going to be the same. Okay. And this should be let, not const. Or actually shouldn't be either. It should just mutate them in place. Or let's do this. This is better. And then params equals to params and data equals to data. I don't know why, but I like this option better. So now we have this, and we're going to say that if params equals undefined, then we are going to return null. Or actually, we're going to return, because this is going to return undefined. And then here, we are going to import reduce, and snake case from Lodash. And we are going to what? Return reduce. And so this will be an accumulator, value, and a key. Hey, Jarmahent, how are you? So no. So this is here. And then this should be here. And this should be a function. And then this should be here and here and that. Okay. So then here, and then we're going to have a snake case of key. Then value dot join with this. Otherwise, let's have the value. Seems suspect. Handle params. Oh, it's not handle params. Well, okay. So then 23 lines down, and then handle params becomes snake case params. Okay. Send. Params is not defined. What? Where? Oh. All right, params. Okay. Okay. Handle data. Okay, here. Snake case params. Anyway. Send. What are we getting now? Send. We get okay. And awesome. So we get everything correct. So now we are going to say that this is request.jwt.picture, and the username is request.jwt.nickname, and the display name is request.jwt.name. All right. So then send, and let's go ahead and delete that user. So let's go ahead and delete and save changes and delete and save changes. And this has a key here in agent users. So we first, whoa, thank you for the bits. Oh my God. I was like, where is this music coming from? Thank you for the beat, Jarmahan. Much appreciated. You are now the top tier. Much appreciated. Thank you for the bits. Okay, so now if we do that, so send, and oh man, thank you, man. Thank you, much appreciated. Okay, so then agent users, we have agent users. Jarmahant is the top supporter for today. Thank you, man, much appreciated. So then we'll have users, and we have an avatar. We have a user type. We have a username. We have a full name, which is not really well. It really is what it is, but yeah. So here. So now we have this, and here we are going to return handle. Is it 401? Where is the 401? Error 401. So 401. Wait, error 401. Okay. So let's send, and if we send a different bear, then we get this error 401 is not a function. Okay, so let's go to errors. And we have this error 401. And 401.js is here. So why is this not a function? Why is this not a function? It should definitely be a function. Dude, thank you again for the support. Much appreciated. My pleasure helping you. My pleasure, man. Thank you so much. Okay. So why is this not a function? Before we go ahead and commit all of this code, this is something that that I want to verify, because why is this not a function? So first, let's remove this. So is it here that it's not a function, or is it on another thing that it's not a function? So this is a REST and a GraphQL one, but right now it only supports REST. But it's going to be a REST. It's going to be a GraphQL one. Right now I'm not using GraphQL, but I'm going to. Error 401. So errors, export default, and then this is error 401 from app errors. And then error, we have 401. And then here we'll have a res. Wait, do I need a return here? I don't. Res.status unauthorized. .json, and then let's send this. Okay. What? Where? Export error 401, error 401. Where? Please tell me. Export default, error 401. No, it's error 401 here. And it's error 401 everywhere. God damn it, I don't see that. And the thing is, it's working somewhere else. Let's see where it's working. It's working not here. Somewhere. There. Here it's working. So if I don't send the credentials at all, oh, well, I don't. No. I don't think I need to remove the default. Okay, so so this does fix it, but why? Why is this and these different? Because export default here exports an object. I have that somewhere else. Yeah, I did remove default and it did work. And it's not the first time that I've seen this, but if you look at services, then I have this export default in other places. Here, for example. So here I have an export default, and this is an object. So that's weird. Okay, so this is unauthorized, which is great. And then if I give a basic auth with a bear, then I get an unauthorized as well. Cool. So I don't know why this fixes it, but it fixes it, so I'm okay with it. So yes, and yes, and yes, and yes, and yes. And now let's go to service request, and we can remove this comment and add a comment here. So converts. Thank you, Jarmahan, and again, thank you for the bits, much appreciated. Converts, and this will convert an object from I don't know even know what this calls from keys named like user name to user name. Well, the other way around, from username to username. All of the downstream services expect the objects being sent to have a snake case naming convention. Okay, so this is good. And then this will add the X request ID from the gateway to all the downstream services. Add JSON header. This is the place to add headers that will go to all services. You're not the first one to tell me that. You're not the first one to tell me that. Okay. So this is it. And you'll find similarities, I guess. But it's for you to determine, I guess. All right, so then here we'll have these, and then here we'll have 4.1 error validation and some docs. Okay. So now we have an API gateway. So now that we have the API gateway, I want to kind of sketch how this works. So I'm going to grab my my thing here, this, and I don't know where the pen is, so give me a second and I will look for it. Oh, there it is. I found it. So here, let me show you what happens. Starless Jupiter, thank you for the follow. So here, where is it? Online whiteboard. Where is this? This one. Cool. So let me sketch what we have here so far. So we have this. So this is Shivano. And Shivano is React. And Shivano is talking to Plato, which is a JS. And Plato is talking to Chattanooga, which is Python. And then it will also talk to other services. Okay. So here, there is a network firewall. All right. So network. Whoops. Stay. Network firewall, which means that this can only talk to Plato, and only Plato can talk to the other services. In order for you to even get to the other services, you need to be on Plato's network. And what you can also do is you can configure, your office or your home network or anything like that. Oh, the link for the Discord is dead. Really? Oh, it's not that the link is dead. It's that there is a dot. All right, let me. It's the dot. So just 1 second. And where is it? Modules, settings. Here. Thank you for following. You can also join the Discord at this and this and that. And then here. Message. What is message? Oh, well, okay. So X and then save. And this Discord is okay. Cool. Tendo Twitch. Hello, 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 hello. How are you? Okay, so cool. Thank you for letting me know. It added a dot. That broke the link. What time zone am I in? I live in West San Jose. I live here. So this is PST. That's where I live. This is my hood. Silicon Valley. This is where I live. I live around here. Yep, that's where I'm in. That's the time zone. PST, Pacific time zone. Best time zone in the world. All right. No wonder it's light outside. Oh, okay. It's not very light outside. Sweet Lake City. All right. So then we have this and this and this. We can remove this. We can remove this. We can remove this. So where should we go now? Where should we go now? So this is Git ST here, and what next? What next? So we have the service, we have registration, we have login, we have the API gateway talking to the other services. I don't think you appreciate how much we've progressed since yesterday. And our API gateway has the R256 authentication algorithm. It's reading the token, it's validating the token, it's memorizing the token, so we don't really need to call auth0 again and again. We are only shaking hands with public keys between Shivano and Plato. And it's looking good. I mean, it's looking good. So now we have two options. Let's see. So stream poll, I guess. Stream poll, straw poll. All right. So what should we work on next? Okay. So one is going to be the chat UI. So this is React, HTML, CSS, and client-side JS. Or do we work on adding a conversation model that will match Slack users with the client-side users, or pairing with a viewer with an interesting issue? Let's do this. There you go. You guys are the rulers. Where's my cup? There it is. Okay. I always love this. How you guys are really, really active and engaging. I love it. Really, thank you. I really, really appreciate you guys being active and being involved and being awesome. You're making everything worthwhile. By the way, we have like 30 viewers on a Saturday. Oh wow, look at this. That's a tie. um, wow, that's a tie. Well, now it's not a tie. Do all the things. I still need to have 45 minutes on the bike today, on the trainer. Okay, so the Chat UI wins by well, not a landslide, but it wins. um, by the way, if there is a viewer that has an interesting problem, JavaScript, Python, Golang, DevOps, security, AWS, anything that is like kind of interesting and React, whatever you want, really. If you have an issue that you want to pair and you think that that the viewers are gonna like it, then I welcome it. Okay, what are you saying wow to Starless Jupiter? What are you saying wow to? Okay. Anyway, so the Chat UI wins, and if anybody has an interesting pairing issue, then let me know. Awesome. So let us what? Oh, the fact that the first one won. Um. Okay. Well, the first one won. It's a democracy. Um. So, before I lose my state of mind here, let us draw something here. So here, let me move the keyboard out of the way. It is time for some drawing. All right, so this is our chat UI. Okay, so before we even talk about the chat UI, let's talk about the chat interaction. I guess. Okay, I don't know why this does it, but whatever. Um, interaction. All right, so the interaction is this: Slack, not stack, but Slack to a user that is outside of Slack. Okay. Beautiful penmanship. uh, I'm sorry. um, so this is kind of the interaction, and the interaction basically means that the user that is actually chatting with the Slack user doesn't really know anything about the user or doesn't have a list of users or anything like that. Really, once the Slack user creates a conversation, that's the first time that that our user really kind of sees that. So we're gonna have to build around it, and I'm not sure how to do that yet. But I'm guessing we're gonna have this, search, and we're gonna have a list of conversations. Why is this? Why is this like on an angle? Um, and we're gonna have like your your name here and your avatar here, and then we're gonna have the conversation window over here. So this is where you're gonna type your conversation, and this is where you're gonna converse. And then here, we're gonna have some user details. So this is the user, and these are some actions that you can do, and this is a call to action and whatever. So a really simple kind of 3-column chat window. And if you think about what website looks like this, then Facebook Messenger looks like this. WhatsApp on the web looks like this, and even Slack in some configuration looks like this. So this is a pretty proven chat UI, right? And if you go and you even Google for chat UI, so let's have something like material design chat, then you'll see like a lot of these, like a lot of them look like this. So let me try and find something. So you look at like Google Images, for example, and you'll see like all of these designs from Pinterest and so on. So, something in the basics of this, with like a search and a conversation, and then the list of conversation. But then on the right side, then you'll have details about the user, right? So something, in the lines of this, or this, you know what I'm saying? But something with more of like here you'll have some user data about the user. You see, it's like it's so unoriginal that it hurts my teeth, but this design works. This design works, and it's proven, and once you work with it, kind of what to expect, right? If you look at Facebook Messenger, then this was what Facebook Messenger looks like, right? So you'll have a list of conversation, and you'll have the conversation. Thank you for the follow, Miguel Divar. I hope I probably didn't pronounce your name right, but yeah, so there it is, right? So you'll have this like list of conversation, and you'll have the conversation, and then you'll have some details about the user, so really, really, really kind of basic stuff. And close enough. So yeah, so the challenge is to all of the spacing and the colors, and selecting that everything will be clear and I don't know. So that's really kind of the challenge, and it's not an easy challenge. There are a lot. What happens here? Oh, I think my camera is still set on green screen. I don't know why. Let me see something green. Yeah, it's on green screen. Yep, green screen. Okay, got it. I should mock interview. Are you volunteering to do a mock interview, Heartbuzz? Are you volunteering? Who's volunteering to do a mock interview, and who wants to view a mock interview? If we have on one side a volunteer to interview, and on the other side viewers that want to view an interview, then I'm game. All right. And if we don't, then we don't. and it's okay. Um, is there another light here? There it is. 1 second. There. Another light now. Cool. So D2. What's D2? I don't know what D2 is. Dum, dum, dum. So Hardbuzz, are you in for a mock interview? All right. So let's go to, what is this? I can remove this. I don't really need this. Do I need this? I don't. And then here, I had a core fig. Corn fig. I have a typo here somewhere. Just 1 second. Where is my typo? I had a typo there. Let me see where I had this typo. This is a pull request I submitted yesterday. Yeah, con r fig. There it is. And this is config. Okay, and then here and dash p. There and git commit fixing a typo. Fetch git rebase dash I origin master, and then fix up this origin feature app name and force. All right, and then here we should refresh and we see this here, and awesome. So comment, and this is how open source works, people. Okay. What now? What now? What now? Oh, what does rebase do? It rewrites the history. It rewrites the history of Git. So what happens is, and let's do this. Okay, so let's say you have your feature branch. And then you have master. Okay, so you have a commit here, and you have a commit here, and you have a commit here, and you have a commit here. Inside master, you have a commit here, and you have a commit here, and then you have a commit here. And what you do when you rebase, this is now the history, right? So when you merge, what happens is that this merges into this. When you rebase, it allows you to reorder things. So it will allow you to say this one actually squash this into this one, and then this one will become a new commit with a new ID. And then take this one and just reword it. So you can also say reword, which will just allow you to change the commit title and message. And then this one, I completely don't need this one, so delete it. What this will do is it will create a new history, because Git never deletes things. And it will create this commit and this commit and this commit. sorry, so only 2 commits, and then it will delete the other one. And then when you push -F, so when you push with force, then it will take this entire chunk and then push it up to the history. And then when you merge, you will only merge this part into this part. Now, what happens is, and you can also see this here, if I go to the ref log, then what you'll see, now let me put that on the top. So if I go to the ref log, what you'll see is that I say this is a commit, right? And this is head 3, and this is head 4. And I have this fixing the typo and change this configuration, right? And then what happens is there is another, this one. And I can reset to this one, right? So here's the rebase, and then here's the previous ones. And I can reset back to this, and I can reset back to this, and then do, whatever I want. And if we go here, and let me give you an example, right? So let's do the readme.md here. And then I will say this, and then I will add it and git commit-m, adding a space to the readme. Feature app name config, right? So then if I go and I refresh GitHub, or reopen it because I closed it, then what you'll see is that my pull request now has 2 commits. It has the previous commit, which is change the app configuration, and it has the adding a space to the README, which has this thing. When I fetch and rebase, I can completely delete this one, okay? And push again with force. And when I push with force, what you'll see is that now my PR has only 1 commit. And it doesn't have the README change. All right. But then what I can also do, and again, let's do readme.md, and then I'll add the space again, and add readme and git commit-m, adding a line to the readme. And again, push, it doesn't matter to push or not to push, it doesn't really matter. But then if I rebase, then I can either fix up or I can squash. And if I squash, what will happen is it will create this new commit, which is based on, you see, this is the line for the first commit message, and this is the commit message for number 2. And I can edit the commit message. So I'll add the space here, for example, and then I'll add this should make the error message and the app crashing more predictable, or at least less of an enigma. All right, and then let's do this and then git push. And if I force push that change, then what you'll see is I still have 1 commit, right? So I still have 1 commit. And let's refresh. And now the commit message has my new message. Yeah, you can manipulate anything you want in Git. Of course you can. And then as you can see, there is this commit here. Now, if you go to the ref log, you can undo anything you just did. All right, so you can go back to the version before adding a line to the README. You can go to the first rebase. You can go to the second rebase. You can do whatever, basically whatever you want. And you can also cherry pick from 1 to 1. You can change orders. You can do whatever you want, right? And yeah, so Git is pretty good. So what will happen, like a lot of the times, is I'll have many commits like work in progress, or I have to go home, or this is stupid, or I am stupid, or you are stupid. You know what I mean? Whatever. And then when I'm ready to like have this reviewed, what I'll do is I'll look at my commit history and I'll squash and I'll make it you know, more discreet, more respectable, and you know, more descriptive of what I'm actually doing. So when I work like my day to day, and I really commit often, and I commit fast, and I commit really small changes. But when I'm ready with my feature, then I'll write like this big long um, commit messages, right? So I have a lot of this. I'm trying not to have those anymore, but I used to have those a lot. Um, Alrighty then. So how long have I been streaming? An hour and a half. Um, wow, 39 people, or should I say, 39 million. Man. Oh, no, you don't get short answers here, dude. What do you mean, man? This is not a time for short answers. Um, okay. So, what else? What else? I don't think I'm gonna get to the chat UI today. I mean, I've already been streaming for an hour and a half, and it's Saturday. um, so I haven't really even planned on streaming today. Um, so let's see. Um, CI failed. Well, it might. Let's see. Hey, Kaya, how are you? Or Kia? Expected value of 9. Oh, yeah. Okay. Uh, people said doctor disrespect. Now I can't stop like having my doctor disrespect moments. Okay, so let's go to loader index test, and loader index dot test, and then 9 here, and then 9. Why is this 9? This is arbitrarily 9. Object dot keys, and then to combine config get vars. And where is get vars? So get vars is this. Get vars is mock implementation, ignored version, ignored env. Okay, so this is before all. We have this process.env. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what we should have is let me think. Well, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9. And so this. So why is this? All right, so let's do this. Console.log keys. And then here, let's do this and tmux new session -s. But whatever, something. And then let's do npm install here. And package.json. Do we have a test script here? We do. So let me see why this is 9. This should still be 9. So let's see. Let me fix this test. All right, so npm test. One of them should fail, and it does. And oh, I see. So here we have this var, then we have this group. Yeah. So this one, this is the one. So GG Butters, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So here, let's go to index.test.js, and from 9 we can actually change this to to 10, and then we have 9 config items and secrets total. Because we add the name to the config vars, we should have +1 on keys. So here, and then this will be npm test. And then save this, and this should pass, and it does. src git commit. Mihu, thank you for the follow. Git commit. Fixing the test. And let's not disappoint and rebase again. And fix up and push. Okay. So now test should pass too. So here npm. All right. So why is Node on this version? I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Okay. So here and here we can close. We can exit this, and we can exit this and exit this. Okay, so I think as much as I hate leaving 34, 37 people online, I think that's it for me for today. I'm happy with what I've done today. So let's just wait for this to pass and see what's what. If anybody, by the way, in the meantime, has a question, career question, technical question, or anything like that, please go ahead and feel free to ask. I mean, I don't know who's here for the first time and who's been here before, but you know, this chat is very engaging. So please feel free to ask questions and give comments and stuff like that. Okay. Well, now it's lint. Okay. So let's do this, npm lint, and here npm run lint. What am I building? So I have Themos1, thank you for the follow. So I have working, and it tells you what I'm working on. If you're asking specifically about the product, then I'm not exposing it yet. Wait, what is going on here in circle? Oh, this is not this. cd nodule, cd open source nodule config, npm lint, circle. Oh, yarn. Why is this yarn? Npm run lint. Okay, so let's go here. Well, this is a pretty common thing that people say, that I move too fast. Daljevic, thank you for the follow. This is a pretty common thing that people say that I work fast. Um, but yeah, I guess that's how I try to slow it down. But that's just how I work because um, so here we return null, and then we have this warnings. Those are all warnings. So I think lint should pass now with no errors. It does. So src git commit dash m, git commit. Oh, I've been programming for 6 months. Yeah, 6 months or so. Um, git commit. Um, git commit dash m, lint kappa. I've been programming for 6 months kappa. No, no. No, no. I've not been programming for 6 months. I'm sorry. I meant to say kappa and and I didn't. How long have I been programming? I don't know, man. About 16 years. Yeah, probably about 16 years. And professionally, probably since 2005 or 2006. So about 12 years or 11 years or 10 years. I mean, I don't know. So yeah, I'm sorry. That was supposed to be a cup after that 6 months. No, 16 years, professionally 10 years. I mean, professionally about 10 years to 12 years, yeah. I'm 35 years old, so yeah, that makes sense. Um, so I started programming before, when I was like 14 years old or 13 years old. And then I did not touch programming at all. Oh, wow. Thank you for the subscription, man. Much appreciated. And then I did not touch programming at all from about 18 to about 22 years old. And yeah, not at all. So for those 4 years, 5 years, I didn't touch programming at all. I've done other things. And no, I started working. I started working right away. I mean, I was before I was 18 years old. I was already working in programming. Yeah. So you're asking how long did it take me since from the time that So I think my situation was really different. Because what happened was that I started programming really really early. I started programming when I was 13 years old or 14 years old, but I had the privilege of or the I don't know how to say it, but I had the privilege of not needing to work programming because I was a student, right? I was just in school. So I just like developed myself, and I started working in programming probably when I was about 16, and I worked professionally for 2 years, not full time or anything like that, but I did work professionally. I was doing projects. I was building websites. I was hacking scripts. Not hacking, but hacking scripts. So a lot of these, I was building e-commerce websites with like classic ASP3 at the time. And when I was 18 years old, again, I stopped programming. I was doing other things, and probably until I was about 23 or 24. The timeline is kind of a blur, but I didn't touch programming. I was really doing other things. I was working with my hands. I was, a mechanic, and yeah. And after that, I was back to programming because I started doing it in my spare time, and then I started programming again. And I it's ASP, what was called classic ASP. I don't know what's classic about it, but it was called classic ASP. And yeah, so that's the story. So it's kind of in basics. I also think it's harder today than it was before. Um, I think it's harder today, to, you're a new grad or whatever. I think it's hard. I think most people, and I talked about it on stream multiple times. I think most people are um, not doing it right, or doing it wrong. They're approaching the job search wrong. They're approaching their career wrong. Um, they're approaching their possibilities wrong. They're basically doing everything wrong. And you know, so they're making it harder on themselves, to find a job and to find a career. Um, so Themos1, thank you again for the subscription. Thank you everybody that followed. Um, I think I'm gonna end this. Oh, wait a second. Themos is asking a question and he subscribed, so I'm gonna take the time before I leave to answer. So any advice for peeps getting into JS? I essentially switched careers from medicine to comp science, and I'm working mainly with Java in a sustaining role after graduation. But for further development in getting into JS and Python, so I'm gonna take the time. I always take the time with subscribers to answer the questions. And here's the deal. Um, it really depends on where do you want to be employable. And I think, and I'm gonna get like a ton of shit for that. A ton of shit for that. But basically, if you only do Java, and you put that front and first as I do Java, you are not employable in today's market. And again, I'm gonna take a ton of shit for that, but I'm willing to take it. I frankly don't give a fuck. But if you want to be employable, as a web developer, because 99% of what you want to work on is, I'm not assuming you, but most people that I know, most of the people where I live, that's what they do. If you want to work for a startup, if you want to get in that startup game, and you want to work on apps or APIs or anything like that, then JavaScript, Python, Ruby, Golang, those are the languages to know. And Java is okay to learn as a first language, and it's okay. But Chocolad Moss is following. Thank you for the follow, much appreciated. So again, if you want to be employable, you need to get into JavaScript, and you need to start building, and working with JavaScript. And Java will not get you very far. Again, I don't have anything against the language. I've done Java. I've done a lot of Java. I've contributed to open source project with Java, but I think if you say today in this day and age, you go to a startup company and you say, "Oh, I've done only Java," then they're not going to look at you. They're really not. They're really not going to look at you. So I don't know if React or Angular. I don't necessarily want to put you in that box of React or Angular or anything like that. Seriously, you need to become a software engineer. And once you are that, then React or Java, they don't really matter. I mean, you need to start working on your problem solving skills. You need to start working on Python is great. You need to start working on your problem solving skills and working on developing applications from start to finish. So don't fall into the framework hype of the JavaScript world. It doesn't really matter if you do React or if you do Angular, if you do whatever. What you really need to do is just just like get something working. How do I know I'm ready for my first job? When you get hired. When you get hired. And I know it's kind of a I don't want to answer that, but I think when you have an app that you started, Benj30, thank you for the follow. So I think when you have an app that you started from scratch and you have it working, it doesn't have to be something super complicated or anything like that. I think you're ready. Just go and interview and you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. So Timos I really hope I answered your question. And yeah. So and again, thank you for the subscription. So I'm gonna say goodbye. Thank you all for being here. Again, make sure you join the Discord channel because the conversation there is online even when the channel is offline and so on. And yeah, so thank you for being here, and again, Timo, thank you for the subscription. Make sure you jump on the Discord and make sure you come to the channel again. See ya, people. Peace. Have a great